Okay, step two, we're going to look at setting up your presentation the right way, looking at the format, the general expectations and guidelines for the project. Now, as you can see, I'm going to read through the instructions first because I know that's important. I don't want to mess it up. I want to do it right. I don't want to have to waste time waiting for Mr. Hoffman or Mr. Norse or asking a friend. I want to know what I'm doing, and I'm going to go do it. The first thing is a title slide. Your project will have a title slide, and it is the only slide you will be able to put text on. More on that later. Then we're asking for 3 slides minimum to present your story, and in the next screencast, we'll get into the specifics on those slides. We want images, and we're going to make images that are free to use and aren't protected by copyright. Once again, when you're telling your story, there's no text on the slides. All of the text will be in narrative form. It will be your voice reading a script that you generate that walks us through each slide and the images on those slides. So now that I've looked at the requirements, I see that I need a title page, and this screencast, we're going to focus on that title page and talk about getting some images on there. And then in the next screencast, we'll look at the specifics of each of the additional slides. Now, this is the only slide I can have text on, so I'm going to think of a creative name, or if I go back, you can see that we gave you some examples of titles. Oh, the places I'll go. It is sort of a take on the famous Dr. Seuss book, or we just watched this movie From the Pursuit of Happiness to My Pursuit of Happiness. I'm gonna go with one of my favorite lines, "Living the dream." I'm just living the dream, so I'm gonna go living my dream. It's gonna be the title of my presentation, my story. And I'm going to say that when I grow up, I want to be a firefighter. So my subtitle that I add in there is My Path to, capitalize it, to fighting fires. And, oh, you know what? I'm just getting ideas as I do this. Fighting fires and saving lives. That sounds inspirational. Google Presentation gives you all the same, text editing features as you would find in a doc. I think that font is a little too small for me, so I'm going to bring it up a notch, maybe even more than 36 up in the font editor. And I like the subtitle. If you look, you have everything pretty much that you have in Google Drawing. You can insert images, shapes, lines, fill color. I believe it's the same if you right click. You can change the background. You can, in this case with the presentation, what's nice is if you want an image, you can set the image as a background. Please be careful with that. A lot of you love to make images the background, but then they're all pixelated and blurry. You can't see the text. We want this to look slick and nice and organized, so plan it out, okay? You can apply things to just this slide, or you can apply it to all the slides. So I got my title slide. If I want to throw some pictures in there, what I want to do is make sure that it's free to use and it's not copyrighted. So let's say I want a picture of a firefighter somewhere in there. I'm going to open a new tab, go to Google search, and type in firefighter. Here it is. I'm going to go over to images. And as you can see, there's tons of cool, flashy images, but I don't know if these are copyrighted. So what I'm going to do is click on the little gear here and go to advanced search. If I want to change the words, I can to find specific images. If you want to narrow your results, there's all kinds of options. But really what I'm focusing right now is usage rights. And I want to change it from not filtered by license to free to use or share. And I'm going to hit advanced search. Still lots of cool images. I really like this one. This one looks good as the first one. Now, There's a couple things that might work for you in getting that image to your presentation. Sometimes just grabbing it, clicking on it, holding it, and dragging it to where your presentation is, dropping it in. Sometimes that works, and it looks like it worked this time. Center it a little bit. If that doesn't work, another option is to right-click and go to Copy Image URL. Go back to your presentation. You can go Insert Image, or you can just click the image button here, and then you're going to want to go by URL. You can paste that in. Okay, I'm going to cancel it because it's already in there. Now, if you have your own picture that you want to use, maybe it's a picture of you, maybe you have some experience in firefighting explorers or something like that, you can always insert an image that you created by inserting the image and uploading it to an image you took from your email or a phone or something like that. That also works as well. Now, if you want to add anything else, there's all kinds of shapes and stuff. I would encourage you to play around with it. In the next screencast, we're going to look beyond our first slide, start setting up our 3 slides that tell the 3 phases of our story, maybe 4 if you're adding a nice ending or something like that. But we're started, we got our title, we've got a good image that's free to use, and we're ready to move on.